This is Rajnu. Gonna make some points on this vague, white, trivializing deflection called cultural appropriation that many people are confused about. With a quick search using the Google Ngram viewer, the earliest examples of its use I could find are from the late 1800s, and it begins to increase significantly in the mid 1900s, mostly in documents in which white people are justifying or trivializing stealing something and framing it as a legitimate acquisition. But most recently, this cultural appropriation term is referenced a lot by white people from some white woman named Susan Scarfidi. She authored a book called Who Owns Culture? Subtitle Appropriation and Authenticity in American Law. And as far as some definitions, starting with appropriate, in the New Oxford American Dictionary, it says to take something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission. In the Random House 2018 edition, it says to take for oneself, to take possession of, or take without permission or consent, to commit petty theft. In the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it says to take exclusive possession of, to take or make use of without authority or right. And none of these definitions are exactly clear, not necessarily saying there was any violation or there was theft. Looking in a thesaurus also yields inconsistent results. These definitions are most effectively used by white people to cause confusion, to avoid identification, trivialize and dismiss their actions, and make false equivalencies. This contextless term doesn't even exactly describe what happened and who it happens to, which is the whole point for using the term. What happens a lot with that is addressing the mistreatment is minimized and deflected with all kinds of false equivalencies. Non-white people are taught the term by white people in order to reduce their effectiveness in assessing and acting to solve the problem. Virtually every time non-white people are using this term to discuss and analyze something, there's a lot of confusion and extra conflict as a result. Recently, it is used by many people to hide ulterior motives like helping white people enforce and impose racial boundaries and assert themselves as the gatekeepers and overseers of their respective ethnic groups or classifications. Ultimately, interactions between people using this cultural appropriation term will just produce much more confusion, obscure context, and undoubtedly lead to unnecessary conflict. And there will be a lot of going around in circles with misunderstanding and vague, indirect, non-indicting terms like privilege and benefits and so on. To clear things up, it's better to just ask the person or persons using that term who is doing what to whom, what they are going to do about it, and what they think others should do about it. Rashnu out.